Driving solo, I'm just swerving through my ends. When I'm sober, I just don't like who I am. Hold me up before and I feel like myself again. Roll me up some dope and I feel like myself again.
Hey you guys, it's Essence. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hello. So basically this is gonna be a nursing related video about how I passed the TEAS test. I just want to say at the beginning, want to say this as a disclaimer, whatever I say worked for me. I'm not saying it's going to work for you, but the information I do give you is supposed to guide your studying as into what, because you know, everybody doesn't study the same and everybody doesn't need to study the same stuff. And here with me today, I have Boma.
Hi guys.
So basically, she took the TEAS test 2 days before me, I think, right?
Yeah.
And I took the TEAS test after her. She passed and I passed. I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all what I passed with. No, I'm gonna tell y'all like that. Okay, so let's get started, you guys. So the TEAS test is basically something you have to take. It's just like a SAT or whatever. It's what you have to take in order to get into the nursing program here at UNCG. I'm not sure for other places. I think at ECU it's like what the HESI. But here we had to take the TEAS test. Basically, for here the requirement is you have to get a 78 and above on it in order to be, you know. Why did my AirPods disconnect? Hold on, you guys. Sorry, y'all. I had to turn my Bluetooth off because my freaking AirPods keep connecting and I don't get it because my AirPods be closed in the case. I gotta go get that fixed. But as I was saying, here at UNCG, we take the TEAS test. At ECU, they take the HESI. It's different wherever you go, but basically, it's like a test you have to take in order to see if you're ready to be in the nursing program. So, things that I use to study for the TEAS test. Of course, you want to use all your old notes. You have 4 sections on the test. You have reading, English, science, and math. You know, you want to use all your old notes that you have. Now, if you took stat, I wouldn't use none of your old math notes because it's kind of pointless. It's pretty simple math. I wouldn't use any of that, but especially A and P, use the notes from that. And English, I only had to take 1 English. I wouldn't use any notes from that. And reading is just kind of like you read it and then you comprehend it or whatever. So basically, I use my own notes. Make sure you use your own notes. Don't fully go over all your own notes, but just like do a little, see what you remember, see what you don't remember. And okay, A&P is very heavily on the test. Everyone knows this. You can either have a lot of anatomy, or you can have a lot of physiology, or you can have a lot of chemistry. What did you have?
I had a lot of anatomy, and it was luckily for me, I had just taken anatomy like literally the semester before. No, actually, I just took it. Yeah, I just took it the semester before we had to take the TEAS or whatever. And mostly of my science portion was like anatomy. And that helped me because I got like a 93 or 96 in science, in the science portion.
I feel like I had more physiology.
Yeah, I feel test is pretty different. So
I feel like I had more The only difference about the test for real is really that science portion. Like everything else, like the math, English, reading, that'll be borderline the same thing. It's just with that science. They say science is the most hardest part on the test. I have to disagree, but we're gonna get into that. But yeah, I had physiology, and just like her, she had took anatomy and physiology the semester before. I had took physiology, and then the year before that I had took anatomy. So I mean, I feel like I'm better in anatomy than physiology, but if it's anatomy and physiology together, I can do it. So I had more, I definitely had more of physiology, but I wasn't nervous or nothing because I took physiology the day before. I mean, not the day before. The semester before. But if you're one of those people that haven't taken, like me, I hadn't taken anatomy since like the year before or whatever. What I would do is look up A&P crash course. It's the John Green guy, right?
John
Green. I would look at those. I'm trying to tell y'all, he done teach me more in 10 minutes than my teacher could ever teach here. I'm not gonna say her name because then she'll be like defamation of character or whatever. But she cannot teach. I learned more from him in 10 minutes than she could teach all year. So that's how I feel. But yeah, those really help, like really help. And as far as like when do you need to start studying for the TEAS test, I would say like, honestly, I started like a week before, and barely that. I was working full time. I was working 2 jobs at the time, and it was just like, it was a lot. So, and it was my break. Like, I'm not gonna be, you know. But I mean,
but again, if you're not like, because she's a really good studier. Like, she knows how to study and knows like what works for her when she studies. But if you're not like that, probably like I would say 2 weeks before would be better, so that you can start getting the hang of it. Because especially people like you said, you don't know what they're gonna have in the science portion, which is anatomy or physiology. And some people like you haven't taken anatomy like for a year now, so maybe doing that to maybe get their headspace in the right place and just making sure that they get it. I mean, but if it works, it works, because it only took me like a week too, honestly, because.
But it's just like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you actually learned this stuff when you were in the class, it's like people like, oh, start a month ahead. Da, 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 da. I was like, who? First of all, we were still in school. I was finishing up my exams, and then teachers, they be having exams, and then you got a final exam the week after. So it's like I was still finishing up school. I was studying for that stuff. I was not worried about no TEAS test. So if you actually learn in the classes that you took at your college, there's no need. I really honestly don't think it's no need for you to study a month before. Like, I just don't get that. Like, I just, no.
But again, not everybody studies like you, so maybe that 1 month really.
It depends. I feel like it also depends how busy you are.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I was super busy. I kind of ain't had no choice. I only had a week for real. Like, I mean, yeah, no. I could have studied before, I just didn't want to. But I was really busy, so I had to make time. Time management is very important. But if you know you're a busy person, I would start a month ahead, because your study sessions are going to be shorter. But compared to somebody that started a week ahead, but that's all they're doing. That's all they're doing all day, because mind you, we're on winter break. We supposed to take it during winter break, basically, coming into spring semester, because our applications are due February 1st. So basically, you're supposed to take it then. And I was working. If you are a busy person, take it a month ahead. Not take it a month ahead, but start studying a month ahead, because your study sessions are going to be shorter, and you need to make sure, because you have to pay for it. Who wants to pay another $115? Who? Not me. And I'm trying to tell y'all, I just knew I was gonna have to pay that $115 again. I just knew it, but that's another story. So, like I said, old notes from past classes and the AMP crash videos, all the videos, every single video. When I say immune system was something that was hard for me. That was hard. Now, when it comes to physiology, know your glands, know your secretions, know, okay, what does epinephrine do when something binds to whatever, parasympathetic, sympathetic, whatever. You need to know all of that, because they will ask you that, and you will be looking stuff like, it's like, I would say the science portion, it's not in depth, but it's in depth. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, the questions would be like
simple questions.
Yeah, it would be simple questions, but it will have you thinking like, the options will have you thinking like, damn, is it really this or is it really that? Because it's like, in physiology, honestly, you have to pay attention to the question, because the answers are in the questions, but you would trip up yourself just like any other test. So just be mindful of the questions.
And this leads me into the third thing. This is the first thing that I'm telling y'all that y'all should go buy. Y'all should buy the ATI practice test. Did you buy the ATI practice test?
No, not ATI.
See, I bought that. That junk.
Remember, I got the yellow one.
Okay, I'm gonna tell them about that. Okay, so I use the ATI because the TEAS is ATI. Like, it's basically gives you the questions from old TEAS tests, or the new version of TEAS tests, and it gives you questions. And I had practice test 8. I had 2 practice tests. Y'all, my dang ring light turned off, and I'm gonna turn it back on. Okay, so dang, I lost track. So yeah, those tests, they word it exactly how it's going to be worded on the test. So if you're one of those people that have a hard time understanding a question based off how it's worded, I would definitely get the ATI practice tease test, whatever. I would get that. I would only get the you don't need to go all overboard. Just get 2 practice tests. You can even get 1 practice test, and it's basically the whole entire tease test. And it basically tells you what you need to work on, what you need to spend time on. It tells you like what concepts the question is from in every section. That really helped a lot with wording, because like I said, I had a lot of physiology. So physiology, you have to know how to read the question. You have to understand what it's asking you, and just, you know, take it from there. So that's what I got. It really helped me. That was probably like the best thing that helped me. And honestly, when I took it, y'all, the practice test, I had got a 72. I was like, I don't even care, because I rushed through it and I took it all in one setting. I was, like I said, I only had a week before, and I think I had took this like 2 days before the tease test. And I was telling Boma, I was like, I'm not gonna pass. I'm not gonna pass. I'm not gonna pass, because I'm just not gonna pass. I was stressed. And then Boma, she used, we're finished, y'all. Now I'm finna just put it up on the screen.
Oh yeah.
It should sit right here.
Right.
It should sit right here. I'm dead. But she used that to pass the tease. You want to talk about like what was in the book, how you used it?
Honestly, the book helped me in the sense of breaking it down and explaining why the correct answer was the way it was. Because honestly, the practice test was just like probably the tease test, actually, because I don't know why, but it was probably like the tease test.
It's just like the tease test. It doesn't explain it. It just says it's not A, it's not B, it's not D, it's C. It doesn't tell you explain or go in depth. It just tells you it's wrong, and then it tells you what concept it's from, so you can go back in your notes and study it. But it doesn't actually explain to you why.
Yeah, and honestly, if I was to rate the book for me would be like maybe 80%, because it didn't really help me to. It just helped me in the sense of me having to see questions that were just going to be like it on the test. I didn't really even use it. I rented the book from Amazon and I sent it back right after I took the test, because I didn't need, like, it wasn't that necessary, but somebody had recommended it to us, right? In the library or something. I think it was a nursing student. She recommended it to us. So I was like, okay, I'll try it out. And she tried out the ATI testing thing. So honestly, it just is, you can try it out and see if it works for you. It worked for me in the sense of seeing questions that were going to be like on the test, not anything else. So,
and honestly, just like how she said that nursing student recommended that for that, the girl we had talked to, she was a first semester nursing student, so she had just got in, and she said the same thing as us. She studied a week before. And it's just like, you got to be realistic. Like the whole month before, I'm sorry, but that is not realistic, especially if you're trying to finish up your pre-req classes. Even though you're finishing up your pre-req classes, you still have to do good. If you get something that is not acceptable, you're not getting into the program. So it's like you still have to focus on that, and you have to focus on passing your tease test. So it's like you got to be realistic with yourself. Like I said, if you are a super busy person and you're not that good with time management, definitely a month before. But if you're really good with time management and you're used to juggling stuff on your plate, I think a week or 2 before would be fine. If you know how to study. If you don't know how to study, you need to reach out to your university, figure out some study habits, all that, before, you know, you try to study on your own. You know, if you're, I think even community colleges, they have a lot of resources in order to help you figure out what's the best study solution for you. Study strategy. Okay, so that brings to the next thing. That's like 5. I don't even know how many things I'll say. Okay, so I don't even know how to pronounce this, but I'm gonna put it right here. I'm not even gonna try to say it. Their YouTube videos or whatever. You need to watch those for the reading, English, and math reviews. It basically goes through every section, and yeah. I mean, it's not really much to say. It's just like a mini review. Like you'll get what I'm saying when you watch the video. Like, it's really gonna help. And, you know, write down your notes. It's gonna tell you how to approach. It's like, okay, if it's worded this way, it's asking it's a comprehension question, or if it's worded this way, it's asking that like a thesis, like what's the thesis of the passage, like it tells you all that stuff. And then the math, basic stuff, honestly, it was real basic stuff.
Yeah.
The thing that tripped me up though, I'm gonna be honest, was volume or square volume.
Yeah,
no, not volume, but square
no.
volume, and then triangles. I was like, I don't remember doing all that, but that's why I did the review for that in the math, because area is square area or square root, whatever, all that's gonna be on there. I mean, it wasn't really on mine, but I'm gonna say it's gonna be on y'all's just in case, because I don't know. I feel like mine was like basic stuff, like add, divide. Yeah, it was like fractions. And mind you, there's a calculator on there, so it's not like you're free, right? Like, the stuff was easy, but y'all, I used the calculator the whole time, because it's like, why would I do it with my hand and I can do it with a calculator? Like, no.
And just to double check.
Yeah, just to double check. Like, use the calculator, use it. It's only like, what, 28 questions?
Mm-hmm.
No, 36.
No, it was like 36, yeah. The language part was 28.
Y'all, I'm gonna tell this right now. Just because you speak English does not mean you was finna pass that English section. It does not mean that. Yes, if you are first speaker of English, whatever, that does not mean you're gonna pass. If anything, I feel like a foreign student would pass before me, because they learn it more as if like grammar and stuff like that. It's like, I'm trying to tell you, it's stuff your English teacher probably ain't never taught you. I'm pretty sure in your English class you wrote thesis papers, but and you did a little bit of grammar, but it wasn't like no serious grammar or you have vocabulary tests. No, this is like full on grammar. You gotta know, you gotta correct the sentence, and it be looking like the sentences are correct. Honestly, that was the worst part. That was the part I did the worst on. But y'all, we took our TEAS test at the house. Mm-hmm. Y'all, I had to pee so bad. I had to pee so bad. English was my last section. It's 28 questions. They're pretty simple questions, but you actually have to, like, you have to study, touch up on your grammar, touch up on different parts of a sentence, compound, simple. Yeah, you have to touch up on all that. So, and y'all, I had to pee. I rushed through that thing. So,
but you still got a higher score than me, because I got like a 65.
No, I didn't. I got like a 50 something.
Oh.
I think I got like a 50 something. I honestly don't know, and I don't even remember my I just remember my overall score. Yeah. I don't remember, like, I know I did better than you in reading, but that's because I always been kind of good.
She been reading a lot.
Yeah. So I did good on that. Like, she got a 90 something in science. I got a 90 something in reading, and then I had got like a high 80 in. No.
I think I got an 80 in reading, and then in math.
I think it was flipped for us. No, I don't know. Child, I don't know. But it was kind of like the same or whatever. So definitely do those videos on that, because it's gonna help you. Okay, I guess I'll disclose what I got on my TEAS test. Yeah, I was so happy. I am so happy. I checked my score and I went right to the bathroom because I had to pee so bad. Okay, you guys, I got an 80 on my TEAS test.
Ooh. And I got an 81, literally 1%. 81.
And y'all, I'm going to be honest, UNCG is a very competitive school for nursing, specifically for nursing. Like, I'm trying to tell you, you're going to be fighting everybody. Everybody going to have you pissed off. It's to the point, like, where some people did not get into the nursing program and they ain't never talked to me again. That's how serious it is. Like, I mean, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, because
I mean, you shouldn't do that, but like, some people are really upset about not getting into it, and I can understand it, but you shouldn't do that.
You're not the committee. You're not the people that pay the people to get in the program.
I don't know, but y'all, it's like only 100 people get in, and mind you got priority seaters. I was in priority seat, so I was already considered a priority. I think it was only like 20 people this year that were priority. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was like 20 to 40.
It wasn't 40. I think it was 20. Yeah, it was only like 20.
20
And then, mind you, our classes had 300 and something folk in it.
But in the nursery, I think it was like out of.
No, it was out of 200. Yeah, it was out of 200. It was only 20 priority people.
So you already know there's 180.
Child, it was a lot. It's just like, you got to stay on top of it when you're trying to pursue nursing. Honestly, I feel like the reason why I say I feel like UNCG is very competitive is because if you look at other schools, they do not require like a high, like I'm trying to tell you, in order to be priority, you can't get below a B.
Yeah, B.
You can't get below a B. So that's an 87. No, 83.
83 to 86.
No, it's an 87.
No, 87 is a B plus.
Oh, well, I never got below an 87.
Yeah, that's how you really know, because it's a B plus.
But I'm gonna just say, don't get below a B plus. Bump that, because if you give yourself that space, you're gonna go well below it. Because you're gonna start slacking out. Oh, I got an 87. I can get an 83 and still be fine. No, your grade will drop. And anatomy here, you're only getting graded for tests. That's it. That's it.
We got 5 tests in lecture,
which means
4 tests in lab.
You can't even get an 80 on every single test, because that's basically you're not a priority seat. You're not a priority seat no more. You have to get above. I would just say get above an 85 on every single test. Every single test. And if you get a 76 on one test or a 75 on one test, make sure to get a 90 something on the next test. That's what I did. I think the circuit. What's that?
The second test. I think we both.
The second test. I was like, I did that on that. That was the longest unit. It was about the heart, and it was child. I didn't know what I was doing, but yeah, you guys, that's basically all the advice I have for the TEAS test. And if you're taking your TEAS test, good luck. Don't be nervous about it. Trust yourself that you know what you know. You've learned what you learned. You went to school for this. You did everything you were supposed to do to study. And if you don't pass, figure out why you didn't pass and move forward from it and just take it again. But don't take it again until you're ready. Make sure you're ready. And if, like I said, if you didn't do what I said in this video and you failed, maybe you need to do what I said in this video. Because that's what helped. That's personally what helped Boma. Did it help you?
Yeah.
It helped Boma and it helped me. And I know it helped a lot of other people. A lot of people were coming to me like, oh, Essence, how did you study for your TEAS test? Because honestly, a lot of people that I know failed it the first time. And it was getting to the point where like people was failing it and they extended the day. Like, to have your TEAS test in, like, everything was due by February 1st, but the TEAS test, they had pushed it back or whatever, like, because everyone was failing and they needed to retake it again. But you don't want to be that person. You want to be that person that passes the first time. You only spend $115 one time, and, you just get it off your chest and you're relieved about it. So anybody taking the TEAS test, good luck. Do your best. It is 3 hours. It doesn't feel like 3 hours. It feels like an hour. But just do your best. You have any last closing things to say?
No.
Okay, well, guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope all the information me and Boma have helped you guys move forward within your nursing careers. And I hope you guys come back to my channel to see lots of nursing content. Let me know whatever you want to see, and I'll make it happen. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Boop.
Ryan Little.